that out of 500,000 subscribers, she has lost more than half of that. It's rare to see someone of her size lose even 20,000 followers, never mind more than half of the people subscribed to their channel. But to most, that response is seen as justified, and even merciful. The issue with Creepshow Arts is not that she's a bad person. The issue is that her actions completely contradict everything that she stood for in her videos. They went against the very reasons people subscribed to her in the first place. Nearly anything she criticized others for, she was also guilty of, and 2 orders of magnitude worse. This is the story of Shannon, or Creepshow Arts, and how she torpedoed her own career. Though Shannon created her channel in 2016, she wouldn't upload for nearly 2 years. In fact, it wasn't until March of 2018 that she published her first known video.
Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today I'm here to admit something pretty dang important about myself. I am a narcissist. That's right, I was fully diagnosed by some hipster bitch. So you know it's real.
In the beginning, her content was rather bare bones. She filmed herself drawing in a sketchbook, overlaid with humorous and unrelated anecdotes. By this point, the storytime genre had already flourished, and even her specific format had been done before. But where Shannon lacked in originality, she made up for in personality. The starving artist was blunt and opinionated, a stark contrast to others in the genre. Because of this, she managed to garner a small but loyal audience who patiently waited for new content. Shortly after that first upload, an opportunity presented itself. Marzia, PewDiePie's wife, launched a clothing brand and began a campaign to promote fan art. Shannon sketched a portrait of Felix, which she later admitted took her less than 5 minutes. She then posted it to Instagram, where, as expected, she was shouted out. Her account quickly tripled in followers, which she converted into 100 subscribers on YouTube.
And that is if you just draw fan art. And when I say just draw fan art, I literally mean only draw fan art for other people and other properties that have really solid fan bases until one day you have amassed a following of people who love your work.
While sporadic uploads are common for unestablished channels, the explanation behind hers was more tragic. The surroundings of her sketchbook change in every video. This is because at the time, she was homeless, living out of a van with her then boyfriend. Creepshow would eventually feel comfortable enough to open up about these circumstances, explaining the story across several videos and interviews of how she became homeless.
Last week I made a video about how I used to have a series on my channel where I talked about tips and tricks I learned while homeless and how I made 2 episodes of that series before stopping altogether.
Upon dropping out of college, Shannon moved back in with her parents. She started working at a storage facility, maintaining the job for a 1.5 years. However, this came to an abrupt end when one of their clients allegedly assaulted her. She promptly reported the incident to her boss, demanding that he be prosecuted, but her superior refused, as the man was a valuable customer. In protest, Shannon quit, much to the dismay of her parents. Reasoning that she no longer had a job and wasn't attending school, they subsequently kicked her out. Thankfully, she and her boyfriend had already discussed plans to move in together. The couple packed their belongings and decided to drive up north to Oregon. They only intended to live out of a van temporarily until they could find stability, but this proved more difficult than expected. Oregon had a high cost of living, and jobs were difficult to come by. Employers in the state are allowed to deny applicants based on their credit history, which Shannon had struggled with in the past. And the application fee was upwards of $50. Meaning that you both lost time and money upon rejection. In one video, Shannon recalled losing $200 in a single day due to 4 separate rejections. In the meantime, she tried to make the best out of her ordeal. Shannon hadn't researched much before making the jump, but she had the foresight to take a high-end jump starter kit from the storage facility. This allowed her to charge the van in lieu of expensive gas prices. It also included USB ports that kept her electronics charged for up to 3 days. Other necessities, such as food and hygiene, were solved through a gym membership and loyal patronage to Walmart, the place many have called the Mecca of the West. Given the continuous failure of her job search, Shannon had a lot of free time. Because of this, she began pursuing her hobbies whilst awaiting results. Inspired by other creators, she yearned to become a YouTuber, but this required a lot of navigation. With limited space in the van, she filmed her videos in public areas, like Taco Bell or the library. Such trips were already a regular occurrence, as they provided access to the internet and outlets to recharge. Then, she would record the narration on her phone in the van before editing the footage together on her laptop. Finally, Shannon would return to one of those spaces in order to upload the final video. With that in mind, the poor quality of her content is somewhat excusable, as it's impossible to deny the ambition was there.
I was catfished before catfishing was even a thing. When I tell you like the details of this story, you're gonna you'll know. You'll know as soon as I knew.
Even at this stage, she attempted to expand beyond story times. The first deviation would be tours of her sketchbooks, showcasing drawings from over the years. But the second, and far more popular spin-off, was a series titled Art Rage. The idea was simple. Instead of telling a story, Shannon would rant about subjects she felt strongly about. Over time, this series overtook the channel, as viewers found her abrasive tirades extremely entertaining. While it started with somewhat boring subjects like pop music, they slowly pivoted closer and closer to internet drama, and as a result, her audience grew. The channel's first major breakthrough came in May, following a video titled Tumblr Hates Artists.
But for this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience and my art-related hatred of Tumblr. But, the Fire Nation of Tumblr is essentially the SJWs and the Snowflakes, and they did attack, and they descended on my art blog. And let me tell you, that shit got stupid. My pictures of any character in a same-sex relationship was now exploitative because clearly I was some straight girl who was trying to use the LGBT culture to make a profit.
Shannon explains that she previously ran a Tumblr blog with over 2,000 followers about the Jonas Brothers. This gave her some notoriety, leading to harassment on her significantly less popular art account. Users began nitpicking her paintings in the name of social justice, accusing Shannon of drawing black people incorrectly and appropriating LGBT issues. With anti-Tumblr sentiments being very popular at the time, the video caught a lot of attention. It quickly accumulated over 200,000 views, and at the same time, her channel surpassed the 1,000 subscriber milestone. Shannon finally tasted actual YouTube success, and suddenly, this once hobby appeared more as a means of escape from her status quo. Her content noticeably shifted towards the contemporary, with more and more videos about drama following that upload. She did not abandon story times though. Those instead became increasingly outrageous, to high acclaim. One of her art-related videos would be her first to surpass 1 million views. When small creators first enter the algorithm, it doesn't necessarily guarantee success. It's extremely common for that to evaporate. But impressively, Shannon was able to transform this initial traction into a healthy fan base, retaining an average of over 20,000 views on each video. By early 2019, Shannon had garnered over 67,000 subscribers. The channel became more like a business, with clear investments made to improve the videos, such as purchasing an iPad to draw digitally. Her videos also began to include sponsorships, another important step towards building an online career. She was clearly earning a substantial amount, though not enough to be considered a full-time job. Thankfully, behind the scenes, she'd finally managed to get employed, which, in addition to her YouTube revenue, was enough to afford an apartment with her boyfriend. Over the span of less than a year, Shannon managed to pull herself up by her bootstraps and lift herself out of homelessness, a feat that many found inspirational.
Because I am a lazy loaf of bread, I did what all lazy artists do during Inktober to stay on theme but also have a day off. I posted a Flashback Friday, or a Throwback Thursday, or some other time pun other day post in order to stay on theme.
In January of 2019, Creepshow Art uploaded a video discussing an animator named Crystalli, who was accused of taking advantage of minors. This YouTuber would be arrested months later on those exact charges, in addition to human trafficking. Because of this, viewers praised her for signal boosting the allegations, as well as discussing the topic in a mature manner. This led Shannon to begin giving her perspective on a number of controversies, including the health of Eugenia Cooney.
The video is so upsetting to watch because it feels like an inappropriate joke. Like you're watching this woman apparently have a really great time and be really proud and happy about something, showing off her cosplay, laughing about her love of this game, and the whole time all you can think is, oh my god, she looks so sick. I can see every bone in her arm.
Before long, her content revolved primarily around different allegations and callouts made on social media. Because of this, it became necessary for her to begin making inroads. This was when she began collaborating, networking with creators such as D'Angelo Wallace, Hopeless Peaches, and the spookiest ghost. On the contrary, this is also when she began to have personal feuds, such as her drama with the Rewired Soul.
Do it in their own time. But still, it wouldn't be as terrible as him creating whole ass programs and books and products meant to dole out mental health advice. As of recording this, he has made the program that used to be $100 called The Science of Addiction completely free, which to me is great. I mean, he follows me on Twitter and tries to publicly befriend me. Like, that's not a coincidence. That's some fucking Keemstar, we were friends, we were chatting in the DMs type of shit. And even if I were to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he wasn't doing all of this for that reason, and I'm just paranoid and seeing things that aren't there, the fact that he, in his wording of the tweet and in his quote tweeting, what he did was turn my fucking homelessness, something I overcame that fucking ruined me for a while, and made it a way to brand himself further and kind of take credit for it in a way. Like, that struck me as so fucking annoying.
But she wasn't a commentary channel. This was the start of a new community that favored appeals to emotions and the moral high ground. Rather than stir drama, they spilled tea, and were later aptly named the Tea Community. Though she wasn't the first, Shannon was certainly one of the most notable, and she became a principal player in the discourse surrounding figures such as James Charles, Shane Dawson, and Onision. With the Creepshow art channel growing at a rapid pace, Shannon decided to give back to the community. She uploaded videos instructing viewers on how to gain followers online, recounting how she did so herself by drawing fan art. Additionally, she started ending her videos with shoutouts to artists in the fanbase. On the contrary, Shannon's own artwork became less important, often being neglected in favor of still images or stock footage. Eventually, she began taking viewer submissions to use as B-roll instead.
Would you ever start showing people's fan art at the end of your videos? Oh, now I'm using their speed paints in their videos, so ha-cha-cha-cha. If you want to see your speed paint in one of my videos, or your any video you want to play under my voice, send me an email at...
By the summer of 2019, Creepshow Art surpassed the 100,000 subscriber milestone, and just over half a year later, that number doubled. Through sheer determination and consistency, Shannon had cemented herself in a rising genre, but this is where the cracks started to form. In covering such controversial and sensitive subject matters, it's important to have a strict adherence to the facts, or at least try to get close to the truth. This is especially true of potentially damaging allegations, which is a responsibility every creator with a platform upholds to some degree. But with Shannon turning these issues into her content, she now had to find stories to fill a quota, rather than out of genuine concern like she may have in the past. Because of this, her abilities to accurately represent situations began to falter in dangerous ways, which takes us to the first significant criticisms against Creepshow Art.
Shoppe wie Schoppenheimer, spare wie Sparbi. Deichmann, weil wir Schuhe lieben.
Jake Yance is a YouTuber who made commentary videos about drag show culture. In July of 2019, his entire channel was demonetized for reusing content. Despite this being demonstrably untrue, YouTube ignored his appeals. Being a fan of his, Shannon decided to make a video calling for the decision's reversal.
Because in all honesty, this is bigger than him, and it's bigger than his channel, and the effects of this is going to hit all of us. All of us on YouTube, all of us who watch content, and not just him.
Less than 2 weeks later, his channel was remonetized in full, and the two subsequently became friends. While a very altruistic act, this is important to understanding what happened close to a year later. In April of 2020, Jake Yance was accused of sexual harassment after a series of intimate text messages were released online. The allegations were then signal boosted by several prominent drag queens, who began airing out other grievances they had. It quickly snowballed into a full-fledged cancellation, with the hashtags #CancelJakeYance and Jake Yance's Overparty trending on Twitter. Now, to be clear, this allegation had little substance. Even if the evidence is real, there was nothing predatory about it, and he was only 17 years old at the time. But Shannon took a different angle to defend her friend.
So if there is one thing that I know about me personally, is that I am a ride or die friend. I am very loyal. I will stick up for my friends through thick and thin, and there is literally nothing you can do or anyone can do to stop me from doing that.
On May 2nd, Creepshow Art uploaded a video titled, "We need to talk about cancel Jake Yance." Because Jake was a minor at the time, she decided to fabricate the claim that they'd shared his underage nudes.
Because a dear friend of mine is going through absolute hell right now. Their mental health is being torn to shreds, all because of people he looked up to and admired are trying to expose him using fake screenshots that are notably fake evidence, and oddly enough, because their points are so lackluster, they are resorting to using images that were leaked when he was a minor. Images that, so you know, are less than legal, and these people are sharing them all over their platform of over 200,000 followers. If your argument is so bad, so stupid, that you have to turn around and try to expose that person who you're arguing against for having their privacy invaded and having images of them when they were minors exposed to the public, then you, my friend, are gross. Point blank period.
This is blatantly false.
This issue here isn't the entire drama of, oh, the screenshots are fake. I mean, yeah, but Shannon gets pretty angry in the video saying how these two drag queens should have known that these were fake. However, if you don't really know anything about like Photoshop, or you don't do Photoshop or any kind of art or editing kind of software, no, these two images don't really seem to be fake at first glance, and you can't really expect these two drag queens to be Reddit detectives about everything that they retweet. However, I obviously do think they probably shouldn't have retweeted, because why? But we're not talking about that. I know that's petty. I know that they're being stupid. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Shannon. In her video, she goes on to frame these two people that they are retweeting child pornography, and she frames it and she says it as if these two are spreading around pictures of this person.
Shannon explicitly accuses Ariel Versace and another drag queen of spreading CP, and if they did that, that would obviously be very illegal. But we have no indication that they spread any of those images at all. Much of her audience took this at face value, and even today, several tweets accusing them of being files still exist. 5 days later, a user named Louis Adamson called out Shannon on Twitter. He writes, "Creepshow Art's video about Jake Yance was a complete mess. She falsely accused them, being the drag queens, of spreading CP and misinformed her audience. You can't publicly falsely accuse someone of that on the internet. And her being a YouTuber, she should know that." In the response, Shannon claimed that she literally said they spread sex he sent as a minor, because they did, and those tweets are still up. Of course, this is easily disprovable, with Louis quickly posting a clip of what she actually literally said.
Is what was posted was revenge, his sex, his nudes, revenge was posted by and then retweeted by Shea Coulee and Ariel Versace, two people with massive platforms. And these were posted in direct response to them calling out Jake and trying to spread hashtag cancel Jake Yance.
Shannon never replied. The Twitter user would end up making a video about the situation, though it didn't gain very much traction. Ariel Versace would also tweet vaguely about pursuing legal action following allegations Shannon made about him in the video, though this went largely unnoticed. Despite how serious of an accusation it was, and the fact that it was outright fabricated, Shannon got away with it, and escaped with her reputation unscathed. Jaclyn Hill is a YouTuber known for her makeup tutorials and reviews of cosmetic products. With over 5 million subscribers, and even a collaboration with Kim Kardashian, she is self-evidently a very influential figure in the beauty community. In 2019, she launched her own line of products called Jaclyn Cosmetics. It proved successful, selling out immediately upon launch. However, once the orders were fulfilled, reports began to surface of their poor quality. Many arrived melted and broke after a single use. Even worse were allegations of plastic and metal shards found inside the lipstick, which could induce allergic reactions and even bacterial infections. Jaclyn initially didn't respond to these criticisms well, but did eventually release a formal apology offering refunds. This did little to quell the backlash, though, as the beauty guru's reputation was now stained as that of a scammer. In light of this controversy, on June 23rd, 2019, Creepshow Art uploaded a video criticizing Jaclyn.
Why the f does Jaclyn Hill still have any fans? How does that girl have any public supporters? How and why? Like, that, it just boggles my mind. Because I've never seen someone repeatedly ruin their own reputation so many times and still have people say they didn't know any better after all of it.
Shannon points out that Jacqueline had a professional background in cosmetics, which made her plea of ignorance seem unlikely. She then questions how anyone could support someone who poisoned their fans.
She is pretty much poisoning her audience, her fan base, the people who love her and will pay $20 for a lipstick, and literally making the people who love and support her physically ill by giving them a product that is filled with mold spores and metal and contamination. Like, what the fuck? Her fans need to know that this is a confirmed pattern that Jacqueline has, which says that Jacqueline hates all of you. All of her fans, all the people who support her, no matter what she says, how much she loves you, how much she cares about you, you guys are great, she loves you so much, she fucking hates you. She thinks you're all idiots who will buy anything from her, regardless of if it's good or not.
This video was received positively, but didn't perform excessively well. After all, she was just another voice in the crowd. There's an important phenomenon you have to understand with the so-called T community. They frequently pivoted towards a villain of the week, with the disgraced rarely having a chance at redemption. This was likely part of the motivation behind her second video about Jacqueline made a year later. You see, fans of Jacqueline Hill are probably aware that she's estranged from her father. They stopped speaking in 2012 after her parents had a messy divorce.
Someone asked if I had contact with my father, and no, I don't have contact with him at all in any way whatsoever. I don't have contact with him. My parents, like I have said, they went through a divorce, a really horrible, ugly, nasty divorce years ago. The divorce was finalized. When was it finalized? I feel like it was like 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. The divorce was finalized, and I have not talked to him since. I haven't talked to him in like 2.5 to 3 years. So,
despite this, on March 4th, 2020, Creepshow Art uploaded a video titled, "Jacqueline Hill's Dad is a Cult Leader."
So today, we are going to be talking about how Jacqueline Hill, the biggest pathological liar on YouTube, we're talking about how her dad is a cult leader. That is right, my dude. He's a cult leader in Africa.
She showcases the minister's LinkedIn page and scrutinizes various claims made on his website. For example, the idea that he'd healed a woman's back through the touch of God and cured another from AIDS. While interesting, this is self-apparently irrelevant to Jacqueline, but Shannon didn't feel that way. She prefaces many of her critiques by reiterating that he was responsible for the makeup artist's conception, as if to imply culpability.
Not to meme or prank you guys. I am literally sitting here telling you to your face that the man who provided the to make one of the most prophetic and profitable liars on YouTube has a LinkedIn page where he says his current job is that he is God. His job is that he's God. He's just God, which is a completely fine and normal thing to put on a resume, on LinkedIn, anywhere. It's something that I will probably now, till the end of time, put on all my resumes after seeing this.
The video ends with Shannon questioning her claims of estrangement, as well as why she'd never disclosed the information publicly.
This is insane to me, and it's even more insane to me that Jacqueline, despite being apparently estranged from him since about 2012, has never mentioned this. She has talked about her and her family and how they used to travel to Africa, and she traveled so much when she was younger, and she's talked about how they went there like 9 times, but never once has she talked about doing it because her father convinced a group of people in Africa that he was God and could cure them of any disease.
Neu Febreze-Bad. Wussten Sie, dass jede Spülung Gerüche auf Textil...
Have you ever been in a riot, like a riot type situation?
No, I was at Beta Breakers one time on mushrooms in San Francisco, though,
What's
dude.
Beta Breakers? What is Beta Breakers?
16 hours? Oh my god, maybe I lied then. Maybe I lied. Guys, I've only played for in 2 days, so whatever hours I have, it's for 2 days gameplay. Okay. Oh, 8 hours in 2 days. That's actually pretty massive. 8 hours in 2 days when I bought it. That's actually pretty decent. That's for somebody who's at the time I streamed like crazy amounts, so that's insane.
What is that?
It's like a bunch of people. They're like racers. They're like they race in the street, you know. And we ate a bunch of shrooms out there and kind of commandeered this water table. There was a water table that had kind of been left unattended.
What is a water table?
Just a table with a bunch of cups
table
of water.
With waters on it. Okay.
So we got over there and people were running, you know, they're going, and we started telling people that the water was for Asian people only, right? Bro, we are crying, laughing, because people are running. They can't stop. They're trying to make a time. So for some people, we'll be like, bro, it's Asians only. And it was like, why? You know? And then Asian people were all excited, you know, and we kept gassing them up. Dude, we were...
What the fuck?
Y'all ready to order?
Yeah. Can I have a chicken fried steak with gravy and a cola?
I will have the baked beef short ribs with collard greens and throw down some of that cornbread.
All right, babe.
You know what? Hold up a second. I'm also gonna have some of them collard greens and cornbread as well, but hook a brother up with some of them hot links.
All right.
All right.
No, get it done.
You know what? Why am I trying to front? Scratch all that. Give me some okra and some fried red snapper. And girl, you know I want some chitlins.
All right, now.
Y'all got ham hocks?
Of course.
Well, that's what I want. I want a plate of ham hocks, deep fried, blackened, and served on a bed of mustard greens.
Pig feet. I want some pig feet and 4 pounds of grits. And and you know what else? Give me a little Dixie cup full of lard. All right?
I just remember what I want. A bowl of mosquitoes. None of them tiny ones either. Give me them big motherfuckers you find down at the swamp.
Sister, could you please hook a brother up with a rusty bucket full of fish heads wrapped in razor wire?
Donkey teeth.
Donkey teeth.
Straight out a donkey's mouth. You know what? Fuck it. Any animal tooth will do. I want you to stick it in some honey glaze, fry it with fat back, and serve it in an old tin coffee can.
Forget everything I said up to this point right now. Bring me some dandelion greens, a cow hip, and a dog face. Wrap that whole mess in an old ebony magazine and serve it to me in a shoebox.
Okay, I want a platter of stork ankles and old...
Okay, Jesus Christ. All right, boys. Let's watch some clips. See what happens. Guys, what do you think TikTok's so early? Guys, we just started, man. I'm just saying hello to chat. I get to come into TikToks, man. Guys, man, I like TikToks, but Jesus, man. What is this?
What you doing, dickhead? Dickhead? Yeah. Yeah. Yo! What you doing, dickhead? Dickhead? Yeah.
Okay, that was actually pretty funny. It should be 20 times more offensive to make fun of somebody's height. Point to white clear. I make fun of them for both.
We have to provide food and shelter for the homeless and oppose racial discrimination and promote civil rights while also promoting equal rights for women.
Oh, right.
We have to provide food, promote civil rights while also promoting equal rights for women.
Damn. Huh? True.
You don't decontaminate. What are you even trying to say?
What the?
Men's room is over there on the left.
Cabron, I need to see your balls.
What do I have to do to make you believe me? Why'd you kill yourself?
XQCL. Donald Trump.
Oh no. Chat, guys, you know what's really sad, chat? Guys, I want my friends to be really smart, okay? And sometimes he would let me cheat, and sometimes, like, guys, I look at the questions and I looked at him, right? And he would give up on me. Chat, you guys ever had that before? Where you look at like the smart guy that gives you the answer to it, and they just ignore you, and you know they're doing it on purpose, and they just give up on you, dude. That's not right, man.
XQCL.
That's annoying.
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump, please. I'm asking you. Please save me.
Chat, this is me when I buy Pokemon's new cookies.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump. Please. I'm asking you. Please save me.
3 months. What am I doing with my life aware? Anyone,
I'm just
much
kidding.
love XQC, much love chat. Hopefully you aren't talking while my TTS is playing. That sure would be a shame.
That's Train right there.
XQCL. Oh mate.
Alright.
50 months holy.
Fucking right in the pussy.
Wait. Yo, don't hate on the fucking... Don't hate on the montages, man. That shit was hard, that. Nah, they're hating, dude.
I remember Ric Flair drip, y'all. Just so y'all know, hard. I hated the
73
song,
months. Thanks for all the content.
bruh. I hated the song.
Who convinced y'all to put that? Was it Metro 21?
It was
Like
Metro.
now?
It was Metro for sure, cause it was a West Coast beat. Not saying nothing like that, but it was like during the time. It's 2017. You know what I'm saying? 2018. It's a West Coast beat. When I did it, I didn't take it serious. I'm like going to the Julia Buster AP, yeah. Like I'm not trying to y'all don't even know I cussed his ass out when the album dropped, cause you know I'm like, bro,
I thought it was a good song, huh?
album. He in charge of picking the songs and shit, so I'm like, bro, don't put this shit on the album, bro. He put it on the album. I wake up to it in the morning, like, man, this nigga put this song on the album.
I love him.
I'm like, bro, this West Coast beat, bro, this. I was bullshitting. I call him. And then I'll never forget, like 3 days later, we then put it on Apple. And he like, I told you, I do this shit. I do.
Yeah, it's more laid back and relaxed, but I think the beat fits really well with the vocals. Hold up. This one?
Going to the Julia Buster AP, yeah. Sliding on the water like a jet ski, yeah. I'm trying to fuck you in your bestie, yeah. Jump up with the so do not test me, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account.
Jesus, true.
Yeah, in my bank account. Yeah, in my bank account. Yeah, in my bank account.
Motherfucker.
Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing.
Huh?
Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing.
Oh, come on. Oh, man. Come on, man. Don't chat. Okay, true. Okay, true. Whatever, dude. That's not... Shit, I don't know.
That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. Because that's all I was annihilated. That's all I was born. The reason why I'm crying because I'm not that person no more. That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. Because that's all I was annihilated. That's all I was born for. The reason why I'm crying because I'm not that person no more.
Jesus, man. Yeah, I can't watch it. I can't watch this, man. All your links have been really bad. Yeah, I saw this yesterday, dude. Isn't that insane?
Can't take that way you turn. In my own lane, we can't merge.
Oh, I had those.
You can learn. Let's see. How much you can earn? Why me go big like the worm? And I ain't smoking no shirt. I'm in the big P lady. QP ski.
I'm gonna get the shoes actually.
They showing their titties is up to the ceiling.
I'm gonna get the shoes actually. I'll put the red laces though. But yeah.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
33.
And I'm back.
32 months, 0 regrets. Always love the wicked content. Much love, XQCL.
And I'm back on my
Fortnite. Fortnite.
I know I like this music so much. kind of crazy. Chat, could you look under though and look at the and look what the card is? Isn't that kind of dangerous?
This is how we make the orange juice at our McDonald's. It comes in a bag, and here's the sizes:
It's a little
small,
high up,
medium, large, and extra large. You're gonna hit your medium, and when the orange juice is pouring, you're gonna stop.
Yeah, I actually read that at the time. What the f- Dude, he got bear clawed. What is that about? That's insane.
Hey, ich bin Ralf Schumacher. Du willst wissen, wie viel dein Auto wert ist? Geh auf wirkaufendeinauto.de. Bequem von zu Hause aus? Ralf! Hältst du den Verkaufspreis. Zum Verkauf gibst du es einfach in einer Filiale ab. So schnell geht das. Meine Empfehlung, hol dir jetzt deinen Preis auf wirkaufendeinauto.de.
I get it.
That is a giddy. Honestly, I don't. That is a giddy. That what I was doing. Right.
Huh?
That is a
Ew!
giddy.
Oh my
Honestly,
God!
I don't. That is a giddy. That what I was doing. Right.
Wait. Jack, was that pepper spray?
Stay focused on Fortnite, man, you know what I'm saying? Build, get a lot of materials, get a good team. The way to get a dub is get a good team, that's all you need.
What the fuck?
Stay focused on Fortnite, man, you know what I'm saying? Build, get a lot of materials, get a good team. The way to get a dub is get a good team, that's all you need.
Thank you, man.
My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. My life.
Wait, that's like nightmare fuel. What the fuck?
What has he got? If not himself, then he has not.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you gotta break that apart, man.
Broken piece of plate.
Okay, I'm done.
That broken piece of plate.
No more.
Including some hot nigga. Like I told Tish, I see when I shot nigga. Like you seen him twirl, then he dropped nigga. And we keep the mind millies on my.
Last link.
Damn, this long. Help me chat.
So, tell me, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be married and have 100 kids so I can have
Did you get married?
No.
Why not?
It just never happened.
So you didn't get to be what you wanted to be.
I guess not. And I am crying, and nobody can hear me because I am terribly, terribly alone.
Chat, remember the edit of this video? And it's Juice WRLD instead. That is such a good guys. It's one of the best, most fitting fucking song meme ever, dude. Jesus. Alright. Chat, where's that meme, chat? It's actually really good. Chat, I think it's Artyom who posted that on Twitter. Is it Artyom? For sure, you did it. Did you do better than? Yeah.
Why Sigma males are more attractive than alpha males. Stay tuned.
57 months. 57 months.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
57 months.
Guys, what the fuck is this joke?
Dude, we just had a guy come in here and drop the N-word, man. We cannot be laughing about this shit right now.
Oh, I don't think that shit's funny at all. What I do is if I really need to get it out, I write it down.
What?
You know.
What?
50 months, can I get a welcome
Ew. Tell us, Lincoln. That's kind of nice, actually. That's a cute dog.
Ask him about the court case.
Ask him about the court case.
Ask you about your court case.
How's your court cases going?
About what?
About your court case. What do I want to know about the court case?
Ask about your court case.
Shut up, you little top.
Take money, bring bitches, bitches bring lies. One nigga's getting jealous, the motherfucker side. If they know me like the third and the 15, they might know people second up you front won't get me. We got throw niggas and low riders and ski ass screaming thug life every time they tap.
Come on, chat.
Sorry if you've answered this before, but are we getting Minecraft streams soon?
Yep. What about him?
Hello? Hey.
I said it a million times. Alright. Chat, guys, what else, chat? Is out there, chat?
They can't say I ain't been on go with this shit if they do it in high, so hey, how's it so high? Need to let me know if you not gonna stop.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're stopping. No, we're not. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're stopping. No, we're not.
I don't get it.
You live right when I'm off work at the hospital. Thanks for the stream. Have a good day, Ruth Wooer.
Hogwarts?
Yo.
Oh, man.
Yo, it's my wife's birthday today. We love you, XQCL.
Hey, birthday to your wife, brother.
30 months in the jungle, and finally melted.
Ryan Gosling.
Alright, chat. Guys, it's about it, boys. Guys, no more TikToks, chat. Guys, I'm done with TikToks for the day, boys. I'm done with TikToks for the day.
Damn, man, what the fuck? This shit's tweaking. Oh.
Okay, chat. Guys, I want to play this Suica game, chat. But the Switch is not in yet. Chat, is there a way to play it like on browser game?
Paceman? Chat, tell me it's time, Paceman. It's going to happen today, right? Chat, tell me, is it time? Paceman.
Rami passed the breath test.
Oh my god!
He did it, wanna go, please. Gabba. Oh my god! What the fuck? That's true? Bro, he just got mad. After thinking.
Yo, bro. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I've just been grinding on this game. Okay. By the way, bro, you should start turning off your PlayStation before you go to sleep, man. It says you've been in the party for 48 hours. Oh, yeah, I know. That's because I've been grinding on the game for 2 days. I've just been trying to rank up as fast as possible. 2 days? Yeah, bro.
Bro, don't you think that's a bit unhealthy?
How can it be unhealthy if it makes me feel good?
Well, don't you need time to do other things?
Well, okay, when I was 9, I got molested by a guy with Down syndrome.
Don't laugh, Brandon.
I'm not laughing. Why'd you laugh?
It's just.
That's fucking rude.
It's such a curveball.
I know. Can I just say something? I'm gonna say it again, and if you smile, I'm gonna leave.
Okay. But
no,
hold
be
on.
real. If you smile,
all right. Hold on.
That really fucking broke me.
No. All right. Hold on.
All right, so
give me a
I
second.
swear to fucking God, dude.
I
will leave, Chin Chin.
All right. Hold on. You can't make a joke and
That's his name.
All right, but
that's not his name.
Yeah.
What's your name again? Chin Chin.
All right. Give me a second. Don't.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
All right.
I just wasn't ready for that.
I understand. I'm gonna say it again, and if you smile, I'm gonna leave.
Well, don't. All right. Hold on. We can't threaten a smile. All right. Just. Hold on. No, because then you're gonna laugh. Don't laugh. Seriously. Don't laugh. Get serious. B's opening up here.
When I was. You ready? Don't cover your mouth though either.
Hey!
You can't cover your mouth. Because the thing is that I'm telling you something that's like I'm vulnerable about
I know,
it, and I'm
man.
expressing
I'm trying to
a
be
truth
cool.
to you.
Hey, dude. You gotta get serious.
If you cover your mouth, I just feel like you're laughing.
Nope. Let's do it.
All right. So when I was 9, I was brutally molested by. Okay.
You can't say brutally.
Why?
Because that's a curveball.
Why is that?
Because don't say brutally. And look at Chin now. Don't.
It's not a curveball.
Don't say brutally. You did add some. All right. Don't add adjectives there.
So when I was 9 years old, every day for a summer.
You can't throw shit in there.
Why?
Because you fucking. I can't.
Why can't I?
I don't take naps. I don't take naps, man. I don't take naps. I actually don't have time for naps, man. That's for the fucking birds. I just ain't doing this shit. I'm not taking a nap. You know what I'm saying? Dude, this motherfucker takes naps. I don't trust people to take naps, dude. I just found that out. He doesn't take naps, dude. He's a grown-ass man. No, you don't dude, yeah, it's like, dude, like, the whole world's moving while you're napping, bro. It's fucking terrible.
Chat, I feel naps destroy your day entirely.
which you have disconnected from and which you have stopped loving. But when you love all aspects of yourself, what can you possibly fear? And of course, you're immortal, you're eternal, so you ain't going anywhere. You have no beginning and you have no end. Radical open-mindedness is going to be a core pillar. A lot of topics within epistemology. We're going to be talking about how science works, deconstructing science, helping you to understand that, and many, many other important topics. And so basically what this teaching is going to be is it's going to be me helping you to remove various obstacles from your stream of consciousness which are preventing you from realizing that you're God, that you're consciousness, that you're infinite, that you're love.
Leo Gura is a man who may seem warm and inviting at first glance, but people who run cults of personality often are. His very shady sales tactics, dubious teachings, and dangerous advice about everything from psychedelics to self-harm has led to the destruction of many people's lives, whether they be ordinary citizens or prominent public figures whose breakdowns are televised. This is the story of Leo Gura's 10-year-long grift, and the damage left in its wake. The self-help genre is over a century old, but while it mainly consists of books about having a positive outlook and setting goals, this medium can turn surprisingly sinister. Because the self-help consumer base is composed of vulnerable people who need guidance, it's a very fertile environment for con men interested in misleading people for profit, or narcissists looking to create a cult of loyal followers to validate everything they say. Uncoincidentally, the facet of the self-help sphere most manifested with this problem is the one associated with New Age spiritualism, because that kind of content is popular with more credulous people. Examples of this range from the deceptive marketing of Gwyneth Paltrow's company Goop to the breatharian movement, where people claim they can survive without eating or drinking and subsist solely on the sun. It's not hard to see how these relatively goofy endeavors can quickly turn into stories like that of Jim Jones, who, after gathering enough people into his bizarre Pentecostal commune, decided to unalive himself and take 900 people with him. In Minecraft, of course. YouTube, please don't be mad at me. When people look at you as a wise guru, you can tell them almost anything, and they'll believe you. And there's no shortage of people willing to take advantage of that. Case in point, Leo Gura. As you probably know, in the 2000s and early 2010s, the internet was a very different place. Instead of arguing about politics, people primarily argued about religion. Some of you might even remember that pre-Gamergate, many YouTubers that would become popular doing anti-social justice content were, first and foremost, atheists. Underneath the more explicit religious arguments of Christians versus atheists, you had a third wave of esoteric, new age self-improvement that was festering online. Some people started building off the legacy and popularity of Terence McKenna and Alan Watts, who had already created the wave of psychedelic-infused self-actualization philosophy. Many people were trying to be their successors, harnessing the already existing audience on YouTube watching clips of their old lectures. One particularly successful event was made by Leo Gura, a man who achieved millions of views with this kind of content by packing it in a vlog-style delivery. He was almost like Vsauce for atheism. But despite how he marketed himself and what kind of topics he prioritized, Leo Gura hid something much more sinister and insidious beneath the surface. As time went on, it became apparent that Gura's teachings had the potential to do much, much more harm than good. Leo Gura was born on the 24th of April, 1985, in Soviet Russia of all places. According to his post on the website's forum, actualize.org, his father was a stage-read Russian con artist and businessman, implying that he was somehow associated with the Russian mob. The stage-read part references how Leo categorizes people's mental states by naming them after colors. Of course, his mental state is entirely enlightened, and not any particular color. His mom, on the other hand, Leo hasn't spoken much about, besides one offhand post about how she is ethnocentric and has biases against black people. Though, according to Gura, that doesn't make her racist, per se. The same year Leo was born, Gorbachev would become General Secretary, the Soviet equivalent of the president, and would begin the process that would ultimately lead to the fall of the Soviet Union. Around the same time, many Russians saw the liberalization of Russia as an opportunity to emigrate from their country. One of them just so happened to be a then 6-year-old Leo. his mother took him to America, which was a huge culture shock for him. He describes having struggled to go to school since everyone spoke English, while he could only understand Russian. Though we don't know much about Leo's early life, and by design, as that would weaken the image he's built of himself on an ethereal stage, we do know that he went to high school with another notable person, Tiago Forte. If you don't know who Tiago is, he's also somewhat of a self-help author. However, he seems primarily concerned with taking notes instead of psychedelic drugs. He also looks conspicuously like an Asian relative of Elon Musk for whatever reason. What is the astronomical likelihood that the two self-help gurus went to the same school? Or maybe this is the type of school that sets out to form this type of person. Kidding, of course. In any event, Tiago revealed that, in high school, he and Leo argued extensively about the nature of knowledge. At least, at that time, Tiago was a fundamentalist evangelical Christian who believed in young earth creationism and denied evolution. Meanwhile, Leo was a very staunch atheist rationalist. He believed only in what he could see in front of his own two eyes, or measure through data with the scientific process. After they finished high school in 2003, they went their separate ways. However, both eventually converged to promote what Tiago called a software-based commonplace book, which I understand to be the glorified version of taking notes. It seems that Leo ultimately convinced Tiago about atheism, considering he has since abandoned his Christian beliefs. Meanwhile, Leo adopted his own bizarre set of axioms. There are even a couple of posts on actualize.org where Leo mentions Tiago, saying that his debates with Tiago pushed him to pursue philosophy in an academic setting. Not sure whether either of them had a positive effect on the other. After he left high school, he studied philosophy at the University of California, Irvine. Before this, he had tried to do mechanical engineering and dropped out, most likely because it was too demanding of him. He didn't want to get stuck in a day-to-day grind, as he puts it. 4 years later, in 2007, he earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy. To help you imagine how atheist Leo Gura in college for philosophy must have been, it turns out that he was actually overweight during this time. According to him, he was 235 pounds heavy at 20 years old, later on dropping down to 180 and achieving the Skyrim Draugr frame we've come to know and love. But, of course, a degree in philosophy is about as valuable as a degree in scratching your balls, so he had to find work in another field. Namely, that of programming and game design, in which he would have some apparent success, working for a company called Irrational Games. In reply to someone's post on his website, Leo would say, "I was strictly a designer, although when I worked on my projects, I would do art and coding as well. CD Projekt Red actually emailed me about 8 years ago asking me to join them on Witcher 3's development, but I said no because I was starting Actualized. If I had said yes, I would probably be working on Cyberpunk right now, but I have zero interest in working for anyone but myself, and certainly not in the giant meat grinder of AAA development." Oh, how different things could have been. This was in 2012, but he graduated from college back in 2007. What was he doing during those 5 years? Well, as it turns out, he was modding the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. No, I'm not kidding. On September 2nd, 2007, a page for a lore mod called The Lost Spires would be uploaded to nexusmods.com, the central hub for the aggregation of mods for Elder Scrolls and other games. According to its description, the mod adds over 15 hours of gameplay to the base game, along with new bosses, caves, an archaeology guild, and fully voiced new NPCs. Though the uploader's nickname in Nexus is LiquidGraph1, the mod's page credits the creator as Leo Gura. In the website's credits page for the mod, thelostspires.com, which now remains only in archives, Leo Gura is also credited as the head of the project. Though it's evident he got plenty of assistance, the donations page specifies that the project took a solid 8 months of work. It's safe to say Leo was exceedingly invested in video game development because he did this for free and only asked for donations. And we honestly don't know how many he got. He could have done this for zero profit at all. His page says the last activity registered on the profile was in 2011, but if you check his friends list, you can see that he's added people as friends as recently as 2021. If you're familiar with the Elder Scrolls series, it shouldn't surprise you that it's one of Gura's interests. It's right up his alley of esoteric philosophy and psychedelics, especially considering how much of the series lore takes right from Terence McKenna. someone that I assume at some point fascinated Leo. Also, in his early 20s, and before the beginning of his online career, Leo began dealing with an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's, which resulted in hypothyroidism and chronic fatigue. According to him, his mother also suffered from it, though to a lesser degree than he did, suggesting that the problem was genetic. As he puts it, he felt that he only had 3/4 of a regular, healthy human being's daily energy. This significantly hampered his ability to work or even do chores at home. Additionally, he suffered from hypersensitivity to cold, often getting so much pain in his hands and feet that he couldn't complete basic tasks. This condition also contributed to him distancing himself from Western medicine, which, in his experience trying to get treatment, helped him very little, if at all, despite years of seeing doctors and taking whatever meds they prescribed him. This also piqued his interest in the more Eastern concepts of healing. He describes how, despite it failing to actually heal him, he doesn't regret seeing psychics and spiritual healers, as it broadened his horizons. One particular kind of alternative medicine that is stuck with Gura is the use of psychedelics to trigger a psychosomatic response. To put it simply, the idea is that changing how your mind works can cause a measurable improvement in your overall health. 4 years after graduating in philosophy and seemingly disillusioning himself with game development as a professional career, a now 27-year-old Leo would begin putting together what he would eventually be known almost exclusively for, his YouTube channel and website, actualize.org. Using these platforms, he would broadcast his ideas, rants, and lectures, which generally revolved around self-improvement. Beginning with a video simply called Mastery Part 1, we see a figure that, though obviously Leo with the mannerisms and beliefs he's recognized for, is still a far cry from what he would become. Not just because he didn't look like the Coomer meme yet, but also because his speech pattern still resembled that of a normal human being as opposed to a cult leader. In the video, he talks about how he needs to improve his presentation, particularly his vocal tonality, to better perform the videos he set out to do. According to his LinkedIn page, he went to IPEC Coaching School, a New Jersey school that solely accredits people with a Certified Professional Coach diploma. Not sure how successful this business model is, but considering how much the Red Pill Life Coach grift has become popular in recent years, you could safely say that Leo was ahead of the curve. His videos would go on to dial in the style and aesthetic that Leo got big for. A gray background, the camera up in his face, weird thumbnails of Leo doing facial expressions that range from undergoing a particularly extreme instance of purple nurples to being severely mentally ill, challenged, or perhaps brain damaged. As for the topics he covered during this early period, it's about what you'd expect from someone who is trying to reinvent the wheel of self-help by saying things that are innovative and out there to set himself apart, such as why you should be more schizophrenic and the law of attraction, how it really works, and how to use it. The comments were generally positive and receptive. You are an inspiring person. I always apply this method into my life. It is very helpful if you want to be creative. Keep being awesome. I kind of think that the universe has a way of granting the deepest desires of your heart if you are just honest to yourself and know what you really want out of life. Holy cow, I just found the answer to life itself. This is how I used to live myself without even knowing it, and I lost it within the last few years and couldn't figure out why I have been so unhappy, etc. Can't wait to start bettering my life. Thank you so much. Now, these kinds of videos can and have been beneficial for millions of people, so relegating it as all hokey would be a tad unfair. However, as a YouTuber whose job relies on being critically observant about others' eccentricities and excesses, I'm almost contractually obliged to let you know about Leo's other videos, such as How to Have Amazing Sex, Part 1, How to Have Amazing Sex for Women, Drive Your Man Wild in Bed, and my personal favorites and one never ever to be forgotten, How to Make a Girl Squirt. Give your girl an explosive orgasm. Even Vsauce couldn't make a better cold open. This isn't just a reminder of how crazy early 2010s YouTube was, but also that there's always an audience of men trying to learn how to get better at dealing with women.
Schlag den Star, das dritte Spiel. Erstmals mit Online-Multiplayer und 25 neuen Spielen.
And tapping into that demographic is a piece of cake, which I suppose is why Leo did it, and still does, as one of his pickup artistry almanacs came out as recently as last year. Along with the creation of his YouTube channel, he also had a website under the same name, created for the same purpose, enlightening people through the internet. Though the layout looks like it hasn't been updated for over a decade, the site is actually pretty functional. In the store section, there are only 2 products. One is a compilation of 200 2-minute-long audio reviews of self-help books by Leo with a $35 price tag. The other is menacingly titled The Ultimate Life Purpose Course, and consists of over 25 hours of what I can only imagine is the core of the ideas he expressed throughout his published videos. This one has a price tag of a whopping $250, though the preview page for the course not only claims that its true worth is $5,040, but also that clients have paid much, much more than that for it out of sheer gratitude for the quality of the course. Equivalent to 6 months of coaching, $5,040 value. Having coached dozens of clients one-on-one on finding their life purpose and dream career, I've distilled my process down into a convenient course that explains it all in even greater detail than possible over the phone. Clients routinely pay me $2,000 to $4,000 for this, but given the time-consuming nature of one-on-one coaching, access was limited to high-income individuals. Not anymore. Now it's 20 times more affordable. You can get it all for a fraction of the cost, and in more detail than I could ever relate to you one-on-one. I am giving away my entire life purpose process, all of it. Further down on the page, he also claims that 3 months worth of his one-on-one coaching is equivalent to $2,640, and that the $250 price tag is a total steal. Similarly to the store page, Leo's Patreon is also pretty sparse, featuring only 1 post, yet retaining over 300 patrons. If Leo has displayed a knack for anything over the years, it's selling like crazy. Overall, despite how goofy and strange a lot of Leo's stuff may appear, at least during this time it was genuinely constructive for many people. However, that wouldn't be the case forever. Soon enough, people started seeing that there were side effects of his teachings that wouldn't just affect the people following him, but also Leo himself. Though Leo created his websites in 2013, it got a major revamp in 2016, the effects of which have rippled outwards ever since. Now, the website featured a forum function, of which Leo himself was an avid user. Of course, meaningful and profound conversations would be the norm, now that Leo was directly available to answer his followers' questions. For example, here we can see Complete Skull Non-Duality God Realization, and Found Out Where I Believe I Am Located by Batman, juxtaposed right against one another. Other classics include I Want to Be a Chimp and My Mind Became Retarded After Awakening. Okay, maybe the discourse of the users isn't that great, but at least Leo's contributions are good, right? Well, let's take, for example, a thread called My Mom Has Limited Time Left. How should I spend it with her? Where the poster says that his mother has about a year left to live, and he wants tips on how to spend this remaining time with her in a meaningful way. And then Leo chimes in. The only proof you've ever had of your mother's existence are your immaterial thoughts. Even if she's standing in front of you, how do you know she's your mother? If this seems like a one-off, think again. Leo has expressed what I can only call mother denialism in multiple posts of his. If you asked your mom, are you real? And she said, no, you could no longer have a mother. So what it means to have a mother is for her to insist that she is real and for you to believe it. You must deny that you created her, otherwise she could not have given birth to you. You see, I invented my mother. In an archived thread, Leo once again brings his fixation with moms into an unrelated topic, as he goes on to say, when I snort 5-MeO, I am snorting myself, in the same way that I give birth to myself out of my own since I am everything. If it sounds ridiculous, that's on you. The truth is stranger than fiction. It's your job to surrender to it, not to judge it. Go do some psychedelics, cause you are clearly lost in your own mind beyond help. As entertaining as these posts are on their own, they weren't the only kind of deranged garbage he would spew on the forums. Intermittently, people would create topics to rehash some of Leo's older pickup artistry wisdom, to which he would excitedly oblige. In a thread about struggling with parties and other social situations, Leo would give an example of his most rapacious escapades. I told a girl at the bar that my friend and I have herpes, and that since we are such generous guys, we would be happy to share it with her. That was my opener. She told me that I am unusually friendly for a Russian. She was part Russian too. I told her that she is gullible, and that if I was a rapist, I would take her to my van. I told her that I am taking her to church to confess all her sins. She asked, which church? I said, the one that the most children. She was an attorney. I asked her if contracts make her wet. I told her I will have my attorney draft up some contracts for her. I told her to give me her fax number so I can fax her a black and white pixelated. She said she actually had a fax number. She gave me her biz card. She asked me what I do. I said I scrub toilets at Taco Bell and that I would scrub the shit out of her toilet. When I said that, I said it like I was talking about f***ing her out. She said, perfect. I told her I am Asian from the waist down and that her ass was too much for me and that she needs a black dude for that ass. But luckily, I am actually black from the waist down. She said, perfect. She asked me to take her number. Finally, she gave me permission to squeeze her giant tits in front of her friend. I told another girl, damn, you have a nice body. I want to sell you into sexual slavery like I did my mother. She giggled, but that one blew me out. She still left laughing. It's hard to make that line hook because it's so purposefully outrageous. Still, I like to see how far I can push my verbals. However impossible this may seem, this wasn't even close to being the most outrageous of Leo's utterances. Around the same time these forum shenanigans began, Leo started veering into a certain direction in his more philosophical videos that involved the denial of the existence of morality. In videos like A Rant Against Morality and Understanding Meaning, Purpose, and Value, Leo would repeatedly affirm that life is essentially meaningless. According to him, the only reason we make up and adhere to concepts like morality is because we're programmed to do so. They are all ultimately just things we choose to consider important that hold no value in and of themselves. Of course, Leo isn't dim-witted enough to be unaware that this is precisely how depressed and superficial people sound. But he rejects the notion that the two are causally linked, saying that feeling bad about it is just an initial hump that you can get over. Leo says that ultimate nihilism is the path to becoming a true mystic, and realizing that everything is as it should be. We will return to this particular topic later, but it's safe to say these statements made a few waves. Over at the Actualize.org forums, people began requesting what Leo meant by this since it could mean a myriad of things, and Leo very forthrightly obliged, as psychos tend to do. The following is an exchange between a poster named Kevin and Leo. Kevin: claiming that there's no evil, that a pedophile is doing as he should because he's just it, that's a bridge too far. Leo: hee hee, well, I guess because Kevin says so, the entire universe must be wrong. Just to satisfy Kevin, just so Kevin can be right. Nothing like dropping a hee hee when someone says that you are morally justifying pedophilia. So far so good. Well, it gets worse. Kevin: I was trying to make a serious, and I believe completely legitimate point. You have to admit that's a hell of a thing to even attempt to accept. It's going to take more than saying, the universe did it so it's okay, to make that bitter pill go down. Leo: that you need a good argument to accept reality, I find quite repugnant. Frankly, it's uglier to me than sex with children. It's far more damaging than sex with children. Look at what you're doing. You clearly see that pedophiles exist, and yet you adamantly refuse to acknowledge their validity, as though your existence is somehow superior to a pedophile's. Kevin: I express the possibility that maybe pedophilia is objectively wrong, not non-existent, just wrong, and that very question is uglier than sex with children? Man, that is seriously messed up. And how can what I say be repugnant anyway, or ugly? Those are judgments. I am part of the universe just like anyone. It's wrong for me to ask if pedophilia is objectively wrong, but pedophilia itself is not wrong? You call me repugnant for a simple, if somewhat challenging comment, but won't judge a pedophile or a Nazi. Leo: there's a big difference between what I said and what you're saying. The difference is that I am conscious that I expressed a subjective opinion, whereas you are not. I accept that reality should contain people who reject reality, but you do not accept that reality should have pedophiles. I didn't attack you, it just seems that way because your mind is being cornered in this process. Yes, I actually like defending pedophiles and Nazis because there's a much bigger issue at stake. What created the Nazis is not my psychological dynamic, but your psychological dynamic. This dynamic has been responsible for the greatest horrors in history. So, in this sense, I claim that it is a graver sin than pedophilia, which, by the way, was legitimately practiced in many